Okay, this is how to clean your machine. See the screw right there? This one. You have to loosen that screw. I don't have a short enough screwdriver, so it's going to be a little difficult. But you take this screw out and you take this one out that's over here. All right, so that's what you do with that part. Once your two screws are out, you'll want to take out your needle. And this right here is where you loosen your needle. You turn it to the left and your needle should drop out. Okay, you'll want to replace your needle when you're cleaning your machine. You will also want to take off your pressure foot, and this is how you do it. If you want to change the pressure foot to another attachment, is screw right here. Oh, if I can get it in there. I'm not a lefty. Turn it to the left. Probably about 4 turns. Release this, and your pressure foot should come right out. If it doesn't, just turn it a little bit more so that you can slide it right out. And if it's difficult, raise the feeder lever just a little bit more, and that'll raise it up more so you can take the foot out. Okay? If you do take this out, make sure if this is the one you want to use again, that you clean it. See all of that gunk there from sewing? You need to clean all of that and make sure that it's working properly. Okay? Now that you have all the essentials off, pop your bobbin compartment and lift your bobbin out and take it completely out. Then you can safely raise your plate and take it out. Well, I guess I can. I'll be right back. Okay, once you release these front pieces, this should come out pretty easy. Now this is what happens when you're doing a lot of sewing with fabrics that have a lot of lint on them. This needs to be replaced. You can also take out your bobbin holder, put it aside. Now pay attention how it came out so you get it back in the same way. Okay. Then you can take your cleaner stick and you just start brushing all this away. Make sure you have a paper towel or something handy to put this on when you're done. And don't forget, your machine should not be plugged in at this time. This is some of the stuff that I got out of the inside area of the machine. And if you don't clean this out, you won't be able to sew for very long, and it'll gum up and your machine just won't work. If you have an air compressor like Dave has, you can take that and just blow out the whole area with the air, making sure that you got it all cleaned up. do your shaft where your needle is, up in here where the thread comes through, and that will clean that out too. You'd be surprised how much lint collects from your threads, but that's how clean it should be. There you go. Dave also suggested that if you have one of those little handheld vacuums, like you use on computer keys, that would be something you could, with a long nozzle, get in there and vacuum all of that out. Okay, if you have a needle that you think's kind of gunky, stuff on it, but it still sews good, you can clean that off by sticking it in a bar of soap. And of course, you've got to clean out the hole when you do that, but that'll clean off all of the debris and residue on your needle. Once you have all of your compartment cleaned out, you'll want to notice on your bobbin holder, sorry for the shaking, you'll need to clean this, but don't get this wet right there. That is a felt piece that helps with your needle and guiding your threads. But clean all of this out. You'll probably want to get a tissue and wet it a little bit, not very much, and just get all of that out of there. You also want to clean this area. Make sure that it's lint-free and that there's no residue left on it. You would be surprised how many of your threads have an oily substance to them, and that's what gums this part up. Okay? Now that you've cleaned out your bobbin holder, this thing here, you'll want to put it back in where it goes. So here you go. You'll want to insert that into the hole and make sure that it's the same way that you took it out. Just look at it real well and place it back in there. It should snap right back in there. Not really snap, but you can hear it when it sits down in the area it goes. Now it's time for you to check the underneath side of your plate. You can see where it has a lot of debris stuck to it. You'll want to clean all of that off because there's no need in cleaning the inside if you don't clean the lid. Now it's time to put your plate back on. Be very careful that you don't chip any of the little lips that goes in there. There's only one way it slides in. When you hear it snap in, then you're okay to put the screws back in it. Now that you have your plate back in there, tighten the screws, but don't over tighten them. You don't want to strip them. Now that you have the plate on, replace your bobbin inside, following the directions of how to thread it. Now replace your bobbin cover. Woo, can't see here. Snap it into place, and you've got that part. Now let's work on putting in the needle. If you look at your needle, there's one side that's round and the other side that's flat. Your flat side will only go in one way, and you'll figure that out when you go to place your needle in the shaft. So let me see if I can do this and film at the same time. Very, very hard to do left-handed. Okay, if I remember right, the flat side goes on the back side of the shaft. So you want to put that in there turn your knob a little bit so that it stays, and then with both hands make sure it's in the shaft completely. You'll want to tighten your nut, but like with anything else here, don't over tighten it or you'll strip it or break it off, and then you're gonna have to make a trip to a sewing machine repair shop. The next step is putting your foot on that you've chosen to use for sewing. And I chose this one because I can use it for different types of sewing, and it just works good for me. If you get this set correctly in this little stirrup on the tool, see it right there? Then when you put your shaft down, it should click right in there. Let's see. See, it clicked right in. Now you want to tighten this so that this doesn't come out of your foot again. But like I said, don't tighten it so much that you break something. After you put your plate back on and your machine needle is in, all the parts are done, you tighten it up, you'll want to go over to this knob and turn it and check and see how your needle is moving. And if everything feels like it's moving without being bound up or tight. Now, if it is tight, you will need to maybe do some greasing, and I'll show you what to use. Okay, you can use a small can of WD-40, or if you have sewing machine oil, you can use that. But what you do is you find one of the holes and you just barely spray it in these holes. Now don't get carried away because it doesn't need that much, okay? But you will need to maybe put a tiny drop there and those 3 holes there. Once you've give it a little bit of oil, come back over and keep turning this knob and watch and see and feel. You'll be able to tell if everything is moving freely. If it isn't, then you need to take your plate back off and look in there and make sure that all of these compartments that you saw before look like they're moving, because you can move it when the plate is off. Okay? Now make sure that your machine is not plugged in when you're doing this. All right? Well, I hope you get an idea and can take care of cleaning your own machine. Save yourself a lot of money. But if you don't think you can, take it to your nearest sewing machine repair shop. Okay, folks, thanks for tuning in and happy sewing.